Hey there, so this episode of the podcast is slightly different to normal, mainly because I want to give you some motivation. I want to talk to you about the fact that you cannot absolutely fuck this up. Whatever your goal is you cannot fuck up. The only way you can fuck up is if you give up. And I want to talk to you about why I genuinely believe that is the case. Because let's use an analogy of someone trying to save for a mortgage, for a house. They want to save for a deposit. Now, let's say they're your friend. We'll call them Steph. Now, Steph is someone who wants to save a particular amount of money so they can buy their own house and start to live the life they want to live and invest in their future for their kids and their family and things like that. That's what they want to do. That's their big goal. That's their big dream. That's like you wanting to achieve your best body ever. That leaner, healthier physique where you look in the mirror and you say, fucking hell, I look awesome as fuck. That's your goal. Her goal is to save for her deposit. Now, saving for her deposit is like your calorie deficit. Let's say, for example, she has to save. You basically are saving calories. Let's say, for example. Now, it's going to take time for Steph to build up her savings over time so that she can get to that dream goal. She's not earning mega bucks. So it's a case of where she can, she's finding the ability to save what she can month on month. Now, for ease of maths, let's say that she can save £1,000 per month. And she needs £20,000 in order to hit the deposit target. So, because I am a fucking maths genius, I know that's 20 months of hard, solid effort. It's a longer term goal, but it's a goal that she feels is realistic. And at the start, there's a huge amount of motivation. She is really throwing herself into this process of saying, yeah, I've got this goal that I'm aiming for, of having this house. I've got this, I'm building up this dream picture in my mind of what the house is going to look like and what life is going to be like for the family once I get there. So she's at the start, she's saving hard, she's cutting back on all those unnecessary expenses, a bit like you. You are real motivated in that calorie deficit, you're cutting back on that junk food, and you're kind of making incremental steps to keep that deficit where it needs to be. Now, Steph, over the first 6 months, she does fucking awesomely well. She has saved 6K. Bang on plan. But then some unexpected shit happens. Maybe she has some bills come out of the blue that she didn't expect. Maybe there was a few social events that started to happen that she felt obliged to go to and had to spend some money, maybe on a new dress, all that sort of shit. Maybe there was some extra expense around the kids and things like that that took priority, and therefore, life starts to happen. Best laid plans, sometimes life comes along and throws you a few curveballs. So for 2 months, she doesn't save anything. She basically just net the same, doesn't save anything. And in that 3rd month, she actually has to dip into those savings that she's made and spend £1,000. Now, 9 months into her journey, she has 5K. So she's a little bit off where she wanted to be. And now she knows that getting to her 20K target is actually going to take more like 24 months rather than 20 months. So my thing to you is, what advice would you give Steph in this situation? Would you tell her, Steph, you fucked it. Give up. Throw in the towel. You're not going to hit your goal in 20 months, so it's pointless trying to go for it in 24 months. It's just pointless. There's no point. This is just going to take too long and you should just jack it all in. Is it a case you're going to tell her to give up on her dream of where she wants to get to? Or are you going to say to her, well, just get right back on it. You clearly did 6 months really well. And yes, there was a few things that came in unexpected that took you back or made you stay where you were, made a little small step back. But overall, you've come very much further than when you started. You've made a lot of progress already. And in the grand scheme of things, what's an extra 4 months for achieving that really, really big dream that you have? Now, unless you're a dick of a friend, you wouldn't say the first thing, you'd say the second. So why don't you give yourself the same advice when it comes to your weight loss? Where you make great progress in those initial stages, the motivation is high, things are going well, and then life comes along. There's a few unexpected things that happen. You can't necessarily keep to your calorie deficit, and you stick at either you maintain the certain weight that you've achieved, but it's fucking less than when you started, so that's already progress. Maybe even you put a little bit of weight back on. Maybe you went on a 2-week vacation and so on and so forth, and things didn't progress. They went back a little bit. So would you say to yourself, well, okay, well, it's pointless then. It's pointless carrying on because I can't do this. Or would you say, actually, my long-term goal was a long-term goal. So whether I was 20 months in achieving it or 24 months in achieving it, okay, what difference does that make? Do I really want to achieve this goal or not? And so the only way you can fuck up achieving your goal is if you actually give up. Because if you keep doing the right things, you will eventually get there. You will get to that point where you achieve that goal. Yes, there will be things along the way, little roadblocks, hurdles, stumbling blocks that will mean that you have to readjust, reassess, and maybe that goal, that end date moves a little bit further out. But so what? At least you are actually progressing to it. It's better than looking backwards and saying, well, actually, I'm going to give up on where I want to get to. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go back to where I was. Because let's face it, you weren't happy back where you were. So what makes you think that stopping now is going to make you more happy? More happy to you is getting towards whatever it is your goal that you want to achieve is. So give yourself the same advice as you would give one of your close friends. Now that's what I wanted to tell you on this episode of the podcast. Just a little bit of motivation for you, maybe just to help you reset your mind to focus on what's actually important to you and what you actually need to do to keep pushing forward. So hopefully this resonated with you, struck a chord. If it did, feel free, come and let me know. Instagram is the place to catch me at iron_paradise_fitness. And if you want fat loss information, you want guides on building muscle, you want to download free training programs, all of that sort of cool free shit, go to ironparadisefitness.com. I'll put a link in the show notes for you as well, so you can go and grab that. But for now, I'll say thanks for listening, thanks for watching, keep living the lean life, and I'll see you for the next episode of the show.